Hi guys, Sage Developer here. So the 21st of March, which was the day before yesterday, was the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. This is an important day to remind us that racism still does exist and we should always keep talking about it until we uh, to do our best, or at least to do our best to reduce racism as much as possible on a global level. And racism is a very evil thing that impacts all of us, regardless of where we are from. Even for those who think that racism is not something that touches them, they are horribly mistaken because racism is a problem that leads to other problems. One double standards leads to more double standards, and this injustice is only something that snowballs, and eventually it fires back in many ways. And this is why it's in the best interest of all of us, all humans around the world, to combat racism, to stop racism. And racism, whether it's racism against people of color, against Africans, against Asians, against Latin Americans, or whether it's like actual anti Semitism or Islamophobia, racism is evil, and we have all to work with each other to fight racism, to reduce racism. Now, I'm not saying um, that we have to be very violent or to be, we don't need to be jerks towards someone if they said or did something that is racist, but we need to keep ourselves and others to a single standard, and this standard is no to racism. Racism leads to injustice, leads to wars, leads to lost opportunities. It's it's a sum, it's a zero sum game. Even though some people would think that it is not, it is, as a matter of fact, a zero sum game where nobody is going to win. So please share this message with as many people as you can. Remind your friends and family and everyone to take this very seriously. Hold people accountable who engages in any kind of racism. And as I said before, racism can take many shapes and many forms, and it could be masked in one way or another. The only thing in common always is that usually it comes as a dogma backed by some, let's say, fanatic ideologies, and it tends always to put all people in a single bag, or put a specific kind of people in a single bag, whether it's racial profiling or and so on and so forth. Like, there are so many things that leads to racism. Racism is something that led to wars, led to injustice, and this is something that we have to combat, we have to fight. And your silence today, whether even if you do agree, but maybe you are silent, maybe it doesn't impact you and you don't see a motive to actually stand up to those around you who might be engaging in racism. Racism, again, is a zero sum game. Double standards, snowballs, more double standard. Eventually, it blows back in different ways. So let's work together to build a community for all of us, for all humans all over the world to coexist, to live together peacefully, and to progress humanity so we are no longer divided by by hate, by politics, and we still could preserve our um, independence, ideological independency, but at the same time, we have to say stop when it comes to racial discrimination against another human. Yes, I respect your opinion, but no to racism. Racism is wrong. Racism is cannot be justified. There is no justification for racism. Racism is indefensible. And I am really, really empathetic to all people who struggle, all people who have been or had been victims of racism anywhere in the world. We have to work together to end racism, to make sure that there will be no more people who are subjected to discrimination anywhere in the world. So please, if you can, share this message, repost, like, push the algorithms, because this is something that we seriously have to work for, and especially during this period of time, we have to remind the world that racism is wrong and evil. Thank you, and stay strong.